Hello guys, today we are going to be talking about the 2004 collapse of the Charles de Gaulle Airport Terminal 2E. And this presentation is created and going to be presented by Evan Ballinger or otherwise myself. So the 2004 collapse of Charles de Gaulle Airport Terminal 2E is a significant event, and the Terminal 2E collapse serves as a pivotal case studying engineering ethics, highlighting the critical need for rigorous safety protocols and comprehensive oversight in the design, construction, and complex of the structure. And over here in this picture, if you can see this little red highlighted area here, this is exactly where the collapsed area happened, and this whole picture is just an overview of the whole entire airport. So we'll start off with the problem and what exactly happened in this case. So the incident overview happened on May 23rd, 2004, when a roof section approximately 30 meters long of the Terminal 2E airport, which was located in Paris, collapsed, and it killed 4 people and injured 3 more. And the terminal had only been open for 11 months before this failure, and the structure was a reinforced concrete shell design intended to be an architectural marvel. In regulatory implications, the incident prompted a reevaluation of safety standards in architectural design and construction practices due to the flaws in the structure. And this picture right here, you can just see a lonely citizen just looking at how bad the collapse happened and just all the damage done from the collapse. Even a car is completely crushed from it. So how the system should have worked. This was the intended goal of the Charles de Gaulle Airport's Terminal 2E. It opened in 2003 and was designed as a modern, futuristic terminal featuring a long curved tube structure made of concrete, glass, and steel. It was intended to handle large numbers of international passengers efficiently, offering quick transfers and visually striking travel experience. However, its innovative design put unusual stress on the structure, contributing to its unexpected collapse in 2004. You can see just the elegancy and how good it looks within the inside, and just how the architecture itself was meant to just give off a great and strong example of what they wanted in the airport. So now let's talk about understanding the design and failures, or what held and caused this event to happen. Our root cause number 1 is the design flaws. This is our first major point of to why this structure collapsed. And we have 3 separate points for this. The structural design oversights. You see, the terminal design failed to incorporate adequate load distribution mechanisms, leading to critical stress points that were not properly addressed. Material stress considerations is our second point, with insufficient attention to material properties, which resulted in unanticipated thermal expansion issues, contributing to the development of microcracks over time. And number 3 is our safety protocol neglect. The lack of rigorous safety assessments and real-world testing during the design phase significantly increased the risk of structural failure. Moving on to our second point, and one of our other main points of the root cause analysis of to why this happened, is the construction and material failures. You see the impact of the construction errors. With inadequate oversight during construction, this led to critical errors such as misaligned rebars, which severely compromised the terminal structure, integrity, and safety. And another point being the material quality compromises. The use of substandard materials excavated by rushed timelines, which resulted in significant weakness in concrete, ultimately contributing to the terminal's catastrophic failure. And then here, I'm not going to read all this off, but this is just a detailed timeline of the events happening from when it was being built to some of the issues that were going on with the terminal itself, and how none of the safety people, none of the individuals themselves looked at it deeper, which led to the failures. And now looking at section 3, the aftermath and lessons learned. We'll start off with the sequence of the collapse. So this just kind of gives a detailed review of the order of what led to this happening. Starting off with the micro crack development, which we talked about a little bit ago earlier. So these initial micro cracks emerged due to thermal stress, exacerbated by the lack of expansion joints, leading to increased structural strain over time. And as you can see, there's thermal stress here causing those micro cracks that would build up in the concrete of the architectural work. The corrosion impact, which was due to the humidity exposure and accelerated corrosion of steel reinforcements, significantly weakening the roof's load bearing capacity and increasing structural failure. The collapse trigger event, which led to the catastrophic collapse initiated at gate E50 in Terminal 2E, revealing the localized critical design flaws and construction inadequacies that had been overlooked during the terminal's operational period. And you can see this keyword here, localized. You may wonder why the rest of the airport did not collapse if it had the same architectural design. This part specifically had increased cracks and a lot more thermal stress on it, leading to its failure. And the immediate aftermath and investigation. So the investigation finding summary was, it was revealed the systematic failure in design and oversight leading to significant reforms in safety regulations, emphasizing the necessity for independent reviews and rigorous safety protocols for future construction projects. And the corrective actions in rebuilding, the corrective actions that I would take is having enhanced structural integrity. As we talked about, they had very weak structural integrity, which led to the collapse. It was one of our main points. So redesigning that incorporated advanced engineering techniques, including the use of high-strength materials. I think this would be beneficial to make sure that the structure stays intact and in place. Comprehensive safety audits, making sure that we have an auditor that's probably a third-party auditor that doesn't have any bias towards the place. Having updated reviews and checks to make sure it's all in a line and there's no potential for danger. And regulatory framework strengthening, new regulations to mandate detailed documentation of construction processes and materials, ensuring that all projects adhere to the highest safety standards. And the lessons learned, just a quick overview, is to prioritize the safety in the design, establish rigorous review processes, and mandate comprehensive testing protocols. And last but not least, the reconstruction of the terminal. The collapsed section was demolished and completely rebuilt using high strengthening materials. So they did take some of the corrective actions to make sure this wouldn't happen again. And it's important to understand that they did not rebuild this the same way. They changed the architecture to it, used better materials to make sure, like I said, that this would not happen again and that they could continue to use this airport for years to come without having to worry about any error. In conclusion, the collapse of the Charles de Gaulle Airport Terminal 2E stands as a powerful reminder of the consequences of overlooking critical engineering principles, construction practices, and management oversight. And despite all of the errors, all the flaws and all this, there was a lot learned from what happened in this accident and a lot of information taken into consideration to make sure this does not happen again. So thank you for listening to my presentation, and that's the presentation of the Charles de Gaulle Airport 2004 collapse. Thank you.